It's these actions that help prevent that call volume from going down and really just generate some good organic customers without having to spend a bunch of ad dollars, just a little bit of time and effort. Are you wrapping cars more than 12 hours a day, every day? Working nonstop but can barely get by? Burnout, missing deadlines, and wondering just how much longer you can keep this up?
That was us too. We started our wrap shop buried under $250,000 in debt, and it felt absolutely impossible. But we dug out, built a profitable shop, and are still in the trenches of owning and operating a wrap shop. We're here to share what we learned along the way so that you don't make the same mistakes that we did.
And we're here to help you with the business side of the wraps, like pricing, building a team, streamlining your systems, ultimately so that you can run your shop and your shop stops running you.
Welcome to the Wrap Ops Podcast, brought to you by Wrap Fam Unleashed.
If it is your first time here, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Share this with your friends in your network. And if you're a repeat listener, we appreciate you so much. Let's jump in. This episode is specifically for those of you that are experiencing some lower than normal call volume. So we all go through it. Call volume goes down a little bit. You know, we're not necessarily super seasonal, but we can be a little seasonal. And today I want to go over the 5 things that you can do to just kind of boost those organic sales when that call volume starts to slow. And it requires no ad spend, just time and effort here. So the kind of first thing that I want to talk about is your current customer list. So it sounds easy enough. It just, you just got to do it. So organic sales, just kind of in general, is essentially doing the work that most people avoid consistently. So number 1, call your current customer list. I know that sounds simple, but I know you guys are probably self-identifying out there that you guys aren't doing it. Shoot, I'm sitting here telling you to do it, and I would say that I don't feel like we do it enough, although it is something we do. And kind of preparing for this podcast, talked to Tanner a little bit that I was going to bring this up, and she wanted to be kind of clear about what to say. So this is not meant to be a super salesy call. You're not supposed to call them and just say, hey, remember us? We're your wrap shop. Let's wrap your trucks. Because ideally, your current customer list, they've already dealt with you. They know what you do. You don't need to put your services, you don't need to shove your services down their throat. They get the gist. They know why you're calling ultimately. So let's not be super salesy here. Again, it is your current customer list. You should just be trying to build a relationship. Literally just, I'm assuming this list, that's not someone that just did work with you last week. It shouldn't be the people that just did work with you last week, at least not for the intent of these calls. These should be customers that haven't done work with you in 3 months, 6 months, a year kind of thing. And you're literally just calling and checking in with them. Ask them how business is. If you know anything about them, that's definitely the time to bring it up. And if there's anything that's new or has changed with your shop, it's the time to bring it up. For example, in a previous episode, we talked about those upsells, bringing on yard signs, business cards, stuff like that to extend your offerings to your current customer base. This would be a perfect time to call your customer list and literally just let them know what's new with you and ultimately ask them what's new with them. Obviously, from a sales standpoint, we're hoping they say, we just bought new vehicles. We're about to buy a new trailer, something along those lines. But the most important part of this is really just keeping that communication open. As much as we all wish that we were Nike and just everyone knew our brand, the reality is if they haven't done business with you in 6 months or a year or more, they've probably already forgot your name. So you're just wanting to keep that communication open. You want to make sure that when there is something that you could be wrapping for them, that you are what comes top of mind. This isn't necessarily, don't expect like a one-to-one here immediately. It's not like for every call you make, they're going to say, hey, I have this wall I need wrapped, or I have this truck I need wrapped. But do it under a large enough call volume, say you make 100 calls, I bet you're going to get, probably 10 or probably less than 10, but up to 10 of those calls are going to lead to actual work, especially if, again, this is your current customer list. They've already done business with you. They already know the value you bring. You've already jumped all those hurdles. You are just staying top of mind, reminding them of who you are, because odds are they may have already forgot about you. And really just keeping that relationship there is kind of the main point. And so the thought or the hope, obviously, is that when there is an opportunity for you, that they call you immediately because you took the extra effort to check in on them, see how they're doing. And people, at the end of the day, people want to do business with people that they like, know, and trust. So this is another effort for them to like you. They already know you, and really to just build that trust a little bit more. The second one I want to bring up is kind of an easy one. It's a low lift. If you have an intern on the team, like this would definitely be the task to push to them, but go through all of your current customers and follow them on Instagram and Facebook. I know that sounds like super simple, but I know we're not all doing it, at least not systematically. So there's probably a bunch of customers you're not following. Go follow them. Odds are they're going to follow you back, which then just kind of helps. Again, the whole problem we're trying to solve is just call volume is down. If they follow you back, then ideally, your content is getting in front of them and they see you more often. They remember your name. And then to take that to an extra step and don't just follow them, but when you're posting pictures of their fleet, make sure you're tagging them. Even better, try to invite them to be a collaborator on the post so that it actually comes into their main feed, not just into their tagged section, and engage. So on top of that, now hopefully your business page is just following all of the businesses that you do work with. Now you can just kind of scroll, maybe not your own personal feed scroll, but you're scrolling and seeing your customers. You can comment, give them genuine comments when they're announcing something too, like cool, or they're bragging about something, whatever. That engagement's perfect for kind of a personal add to that is we follow a local roofing company. It's a customer of ours, and they do not do snow removal. We had like 2 feet of snow a few weeks ago, and it was kind of a joke in their posting of just like, and just a reminder, we don't do snow removal. And I text the owners because they're a customer of ours. We have that relationship, and just joking with them said, let us know when we need to add now offering snow removal to the trucks. And they responded back. They laughed, and their response pretty much was like, just made my day. No sales came from that, but that's just, we're building that relationship. We're staying top of mind. And then the good bet there is when they are in rooms with other contractors and anything that's related to wraps come up, I would be confident and hopeful that they would speak very highly of us and give us that referral. So it's very much a long game, but it's these actions that help prevent that call volume from going down and really just generate some good organic customers without having to spend a bunch of ad dollars, just a little bit of time and effort. Cool. And then kind of same market here, or same ballpark. Number 3 is going to be emailing your customer list. So this is something that Tanner could probably go on for a long time, but emailing that customer list is huge, just a way to stay top of mind, and very, very important here. To try to make sure that you're not getting a bunch of unsubscribes is try to make sure that the content is valuable and it is targeted. So if you're able to segment that list to, your service-based companies, those fleets should get something different than, the schools that you're wrapping walls. You should try to tailor the content to be a little bit different. That's kind of up to you, whatever segmentation you kind of have. Just be careful not to go too crazy and have 15 different segments, because that does create a lot of work if you're giving a so specific of an email just to the HVAC companies or something along those lines. But if you have the bandwidth and the power to be able to do so, that is actually good. You're probably going to get a much lower unsubscribe rate, a much better response. But at the end of the day, the most important part here is to email your current customer list, because the odds that a current customer spends money with you again is just so much higher than going out and doing cold outbound and hoping that someone you've never met, someone that you've never done business with before, does business with you for the first time. It's a lot easier to really just maintain that current customer list and make sure that they're coming back. Some numbers on that before we break for our sponsors is right now for the last, I think we've been tracking this for at least, I would say 3 years at least at this point. We track every single week where the business comes from. And we have never missed a week where 80% of our weekly revenue came from repeat customers and referrals. So we've never, we don't spend money on ads. That's not part of our current marketing strategy. Not that it never will be. I don't hate it. We will eventually, I'm sure, get into it. But at the moment, we've been able to just really lean on that good repeat and referral to fuel our business. We now have an install department between 4 and 6. So we may have to try to lean on some other ways to bring business in when we start getting to 14 and 16 installers, but really leaning into those relationship building, nurturing that customer list, having good relationships with your local community and customers has really served us well. And it is not hard. It is just something that most people avoid and don't want to do. And you just got to do it consistently. So before we get into 4 and 5, I want to give a moment for our sponsors here. We vet our sponsors. We personally can stand behind anyone that we shout out on here. So let's give them a few moments in the limelight here and shout them out. After years of running a wrap shop, I've learned this. Your supplier should be a partner, not a question mark. That's why we trust Grimco. For over 5 years now, they have delivered on time and backed us when it mattered most. There's enough to manage in this business. Your supplier should not be one of them. Set up your new account today. Use code RAPOPS5 for 5% off your first order with Grimco. All right, let's get back to it with number 4. So number 4, or the fourth thing to kind of think about and to do, especially when that call volume is low, is you've got to get out there and rub elbows with some people. So go to every networking meeting you can. I've definitely done other episodes on this, but this is so crucially important to be known in your community. I will put a big old pause and an asterisk here, assuming that you are putting out good work. So a good reputation can be spoiled just far faster than it takes to build one. So if you're not putting out good work, if your reps are failing, if your customers on average are getting upset with you, fix that problem first. Don't go network. I'm going to assume you've fixed that problem. Because this podcast, again, is kind of on how to run the business, not wrap the car. I'm going to assume you already know how to wrap the car and you're already doing a really good job at it. So, networking, super important. As far as where you're at, I definitely would just Google and look up your local chamber of commerce. That's definitely a good start. And there's so many other networking kind of organizations outside of that. Not all are national. It might just be some local people that started up a local networking organization. You might have like a BNI is a pretty well-known networking organization. It's expensive and there's a lot to it. So maybe that isn't the best one for when sales are low, but to each their own, manage your own budgets. Networking is super important. So let me give you, if you've never networked before, let me give you a few pointers here. The goal is to meet people. That's probably the biggest anxiety of even going to a networking meeting is you're nervous to, stand up, introduce yourself, tell them what business you're with, and give them that 30-second elevator pitch. And then ultimately, you have to go up to someone in a room you've never met and introduce yourself. That's super scary. But I'll give you a secret. Everyone else there is also there for the same reason. So this isn't just a random bar. This isn't, you're not, going up to someone while they're at dinner with their family trying to talk to them. They came to this same networking event you did. Their intent is to meet new people. That is the whole reason you go to a networking meeting. So let's start there. Everyone there is also probably just as nervous as you are, especially if they're new. And if they're not new, here's another secret. Seasoned networkers love meeting new people that are new to networking and giving them advice. So literally just ask for advice. If you go up to a seasoned networker in the room and say, hey, this is my first time, you'll literally watch their face light up and they'll be excited to tell you what to do. Like, oh, really? Okay, go over here and sign in, go over here and get a drink or whatever. And then they will start that conversation. And there you go. You just had your first conversation. Some other things to, if you are lucky enough to get with that person that lights up and loves seeing new people. I shouldn't say lucky enough. There's a lot of them. Most people in networking like teaching and bringing new people into the world of networking. Ask them who else in the room they think you should meet. That is like gold. That will help you so much to where you're going to network with a bunch of people and not feel like you're at a bar and you just like are going up to random people. But if you ask the person that you're talking to, hey, who in the room do you think I should meet? I'm new here. That's huge. Definitely do that. And don't be scared to talk to people that aren't your target market. So for us, home services, skill trades, stuff like that, definitely bread and butter. That is kind of our main bulk of our business. But when we're networking, that commercial insurance agent might be a weird person to go up and network with. But don't forget, the goal is not to sell to the room, although you will get some of that because if you're a wrap shop networking, just by the numbers, there's not a lot of us. So you will sell to the room a little bit. But the goal is to sell through the room. So that commercial insurance agent knows a lot of business owners that might be your target market and would be a perfect introduction. So anyway, just kind of think of that when you're out networking. Don't be scared to go say hi and network with somebody that may not be your actual customer, but if you can stay top of mind with them, then they will refer people that are your target market and your potential customers. So cool. And then lastly, number 5. Oh man, this one probably gives everyone the biggest amount of anxiety. Yes, even more than that networking one of going into a room of people and having to speak in front of them, is knocking on doors and cold calling. I'm going to say it again, number 5. And at this point, call volume's low. So like we got to put in some effort, people. Like you're not drowning in the calls. We're making shit happen. You got to knock on doors and cold call. Identify who your target market is. For us, it's that HVAC company, the plumbers, the roofers, construction, those home services guys and gals are our target market. And those are who I'm going to sniper. So door knocking and cold calling, I'm not using the machine gun here and spraying and praying. I am sniping the target markets that I want to talk to. And I am ready for a no. You're going to get rejected more times than someone says, here, I have work for you. But it is absolutely a numbers game, and you just don't want to burn bridges. So if someone hangs up on you, that's fine. If you walk in and they kick you out, that's fine. The next best thing to them giving you work is them just seeing your brand. Because odds are, especially if they're hanging up on you or kicking you out of the lobby, unless you do bad work, is they've just never seen you or heard of you before. Totally fine. I think what's the rule of marketing? You have to be seen like 7 times before they even know you or trust you. And if you have employees, you have to say stuff 7 times before they even heard you the first time. So door knock, cold call. You can use Google, kind of make your list, get a little bit strategic about it. Spend an hour planning the route uh, beforehand or before making the calls that totally make sense. Or just make it a point of wherever you're going to drive to today, stop and walk into one place, 3 places, something along those lines. And really, like, we are forcing something to happen. If that's the biggest thing, I know we're on step 5 here. That is the biggest thing that I want to kind of wrap up and close here to get across to you is like, put in the work. We are making the phone ring. We're not going to sit back and cry about the phone not ringing. We're going to be proactive about it. That's what I'm trying to get across to you today. And one thing about the door knocking and cold calling, just to maybe ease some anxiety here, don't feel like it needs to be a sales pitch. Nobody wants a sales pitch, correct? Like, not once have I answered the phone and been like, oh, it's a sales rep. Can't wait for this pitch. Just introduce yourself. So I would say 98% of you are local, small mom and pop businesses, just like we are in our local market. Literally just introduce yourself. So if I'm calling, hey, this is Andrew and Performance Wraps is our local shop here. So, hey, this is Andrew with Performance Wraps. We are a locally owned and operated wrap shop, just a couple miles from you. I simply just wanted to introduce ourselves. I don't believe we've met yet. And then see where the conversation goes. Maybe from there they open it up and at this point, it's just like, these are people and you're just going to have conversations. You can open up from there and ask them like, hey, just curious, do you wrap your trucks? Are you happy with who wraps your trucks? Do you feel wrapping your trucks is valuable? I'm just kind of doing a customer survey or potential customer survey. And just let the conversation go. If it dies from there, it dies. Bonus points if you then, I don't know, mail them a card or something like that. Like, the whole point here is literally just to get your name out there, get people to know who you are, and then just keep working that list. Like, things will happen to you. And at the end of the day, your competitors aren't doing this. That's why it's going to work. We are all getting those kind of sales calls for, at least for us in our area, for the energy. Like, we get those like 5 times a day. Someone's trying to call us for energy. I want to beat my head against the wall every time one of them call, because I get that call all the time. Or advertising at a golf course. Geez, if I get one more of those calls. But a wrap shop, no one calls for a wrap shop. That's unheard of. So as long as you take that opener with like, I'm not a national sales rep that's just doing a bunch of cold calls. I am a local business owner 4 miles from you, just wanting to introduce myself. That is received so much better. So outside of that, gave you 5 solid things to do if the phone is not ringing for you and you have some time. Put in the effort. After that, kind of bonus points here. So now that snowball is going, the call volume hopefully is going up. Don't forget about what you've done. So you can kind of set weekly tasks. Depending on how big your team is, you can delegate these tasks to a different role. But, call 10 past customers, just see how they're doing, check in, make sure they're doing well. Ask 5 people for referrals, go out and network. Tag your customers in your post. Leave some thoughtful comments. That takes 4 minutes a week. Send an email campaign out, maybe not weekly, but at least monthly, just kind of staying top of mind. And then don't forget to visit or call on those new businesses. So that can be just on your way to things. It doesn't have to be a super planned out thing, just a pop in, hand a business card, say, hey, haven't met you guys yet, just want to introduce myself, and then walk out. And then lastly, attend those networking meetings. I know it's a lot of anxiety there, but be known in your community, volunteer, all of those things really will get you in front of some of the right people. And you never know who they know as well. Again, sell through the room, not to the room. And Yeah, that's pretty much all I got for today. Your last kind of sentence I put here essentially is if your phone is not ringing, it's time to go out and start those conversations. That's all I have for you today. That's all I have for you this week, guys. If you don't mind, please, 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 I am shamelessly asking you to like and subscribe our podcast wherever you're listening to it from. If you're on YouTube and I'm looking you in the eyes and pointing at you, please like and subscribe. If you're listening to this on Apple or Spotify, please subscribe. And lastly, Instagram, Facebook, we post regular content there. Please share it and help us get this Wrap Ops podcast out to those wrap shop owners that need to hear it. Thanks, guys. Till next time. The Wrap Institute, the largest online wrap training platform, now with a special offer. Use our code WRAPOPS15 for 15% off your order.